that amazing moment when you get on a plane and the seats next to you are all free. Durban, here we come. Let's find some light. Better. Sawubona, everybody. Officially here in Durban. But let me try and get set up and then I'll tell you a bit more about why we're here. See you in a bit. What's up, Hug Media family? I hope that you are having the most amazing day. I am here in beautiful Durban and I've dragged you along with me. But the main reason for that is actually you. Recently, I ran a campaign with a shopping voucher up for grabs. Well done to Talent once again for winning that. But the main reason for me in doing that was really getting to understand and getting to know your needs better. What are you wanting to know within my world, within the media world, and how can I better service that? And one of the questions that arose is what happens behind the scenes at a radio station? What takes place? Like, how do they prepare for a show, whether they're the presenter or the producer, or who chooses the music? Is it me? Is someone over there just typing up things on the computer? Or is it the DJ who chooses the music as they go along? And I really want to take time to really educate and share information about the different things that take place behind the scenes at a radio station. But this week I happened to be coming up to Durban for an outside broadcast with one of my clients as they launch a new building out in Richards Bay. So I thought, what better than to bring you along with me, share all the things that go along into having an OB take place, whether it be from a technical perspective or how does the presenter prepare for that specific show, and also from a client perspective, how better can you prepare to make an outside broadcast really successful. But it's getting late. I've got a very early drive out tomorrow morning to Richards Bay. I hope that you stay tuned and come along with me as I share all the things that go into making an awesome OB. Till then, I'll see you. Hey Hug Media family, as I promised you, we are here at an outside broadcast with my two favorites, Zisto and Daddy Cool, and we're chatting about outside broadcasts and what really makes them valuable both to the on-air team as well as to the client. And I've got two very important questions for the guys. So one, maybe let's start with this, like for you as presenters, often outside broadcasts come about kind of in the spur of the moment. You've got like a few days to prep, maybe a day to prep. What goes through your mind from a show prep perspective that makes an outside broadcast really successful?
Well, for me, I really think information. There's never going to be an overload of information. Give us as much information as you can, because the client wants to highlight specific things about their brand, but what they're selling to the clients, or rather to their clients as well. So we want to know, what do you want to sell? What do you want us to really speak about at the outside broadcast? Because we're going to come in on our own side, researching on our own things. We're going to speak about things that you really don't want to sell. So you tell us what you want to sell, you tell us what your objectives are, and what your target market, and all of that, and we can really do it for you.
For me, it's location. I've done a lot of OBs, and just location in terms of where the truck is or the OB van is for signal, because when a signal goes wrong, it just throws off the whole show. You know what I mean? Number two, it's also location where we're sitting within the space. You know, the one time we had an OB at a retail shop, and we were right inside. You know, and it's like we were missing all the foot traffic. You know, then we had to tell the technician guys when they just put us outside so that we, you know what I mean. So location is very important.
And maybe obviously for us, from where I sit, often we really want a successful campaign for the client. If there's one piece of advice you'd maybe think about, like as a piece of advice for clients to consider when they are wanting to do an OB, what should they really make sure is there, like a non-negotiable?
For me, what's really good is to throw forward to it. Like on the week of the broadcast, let's say it's on Friday, for instance, start speaking about it on air on a Monday, Tuesday, leading up to the broadcast, because not a lot of people listen to radio constantly. So you need to speak about it for as often as you can and lead up to an event. Sort of just let people know that it's going to be happening, sort of build up to the actual event, not just speak about it on the day for 3 hours. It's not going to be as effective as you do if you speak about it for 5 days and really punch it.
For me, it would be knowing who your client is, getting there like an hour before, getting to know who they are, talking to them, having a conversation. Oh, okay. And then finding out things about the company or about the campaign that they weren't necessarily going to put on air, but you can throw it like, we had a conversation on air. So just, it kind of gives a feel of they actually really do care about what they're talking about. We also care about the campaign. So I think talking to the people, the reps, or the people that are going to come on air to be interviewed, I think is...
Thank you so much, guys, man. I really appreciate it. I've run some amazing campaigns in this show specifically, and I really take heed of what these two amazing personalities say. But I will catch up with you shortly.
It's still live, follow me.
Hey guys, so something that we always have to consider when doing an outside broadcast is the fact that besides the actual broadcast taking place, there's a technical aspect that goes towards making the campaign and broadcast really successful. And it's important for me to kind of get the message across in terms of why and how to go about doing an outside broadcast technically. That's also very important to it. I'm actually going to grab, I see Nadeem over here, I'm going to run over to him, and then I'll see you in a bit.
How's it?
Nadeem, how are you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
Nadeem is, I'm great, thank you, man. Nadeem is the actual title is the?
So I have a title as IT broadcast administrator, but I'm also a OB technician.
Okay. Why don't we come have a seat over here?
Sure.
So one of the things Nadeem does in the many facets of his job, we happen to be matching today also, is that he makes sure that the broadcasts are really successful purely from how it sounds on air, how it runs behind the scenes, everything you don't see. And I thought it'd be great for him to share and for us to think about what goes into getting a great broadcast technically, something that you should consider, whether you're doing something outside, inside the building. What are the things that you should think about as a client in terms of making a successful broadcast?
Okay, so one of the biggest factors that we have to think about is obviously the signal coverage. So we use devices that use SIM cards to bond signal.
Okay.
So basically that determines on how your broadcast would go.
Yeah.
Essentially, we'd like to stay away from being too much inside a concrete building as such, and away from steel structures, because it does pull away signal from us.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the major issues. The second one would be being visible. We like to be somewhere where people can see us and they can interact with us. So I think that would be one of the major things for a client to actually think about, is putting us somewhere in the center of attraction, and that also pulls people towards us and the store or whatever business they have.
Okay. That's a very important point I think Nadeem's made, is often people think about a broadcast purely from their personal perspective, but we always got to think about the consumer and how they're going to experience it, as well as when we're setting up how visible it is to them and what is your main objective out of us being there as brands on the day. Thank you so much, Nadeem. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. Take care.
And we'll chat to you in the near future.
Of course. Take care.
Ciao. So there you have it, straight from the specialists themselves. Undoubtedly, the outside broadcast is a really impactful way of reaching our audiences. If there's one thing I take away from today in the engagement with the Gagasi FM team, is that when a brand takes the time to share their strategy, share their objectives with the radio station, it helps them come up with something that can be really impactful for them on the ground in terms of the way they engage their audience, reach those objectives, and come up with it and deliver a campaign that is really meeting all the points that the brand wants to achieve. I hope that you took something out of this video, and I look forward to sharing more and more insights and more behind the scenes activity in the week to come. But for now, have an amazing week, and from us here at Hug Media, massive hugs.